Conor McGregor has been toying with MMA fans for quite some time now, as he continues to hint at a potential return to the promotion. Just this week, he shared a post on Instagram with the caption, "Mac is back," causing an online frenzy among fans. Dana White took the stage to update fans on his return, and with Conor on his way back, Michael Chandler has already started playing chess. Keep watching for more.
$4.2 billion. $4.2 billion. That's what I'm worth to this company.
First up, it's official. It's finally happening, guys. The notorious Conor McGregor is making his return to the UFC. The former double champion uploaded a long post on Instagram earlier this week, signaling his return to the cage. And while we're super excited to see one of the all-time greats fight again, there are quite a few things we're worried about. For starters, is he the same McGregor who broke his leg against Dustin Poirier?
Look at that. He actually broke his leg.
Yeah, it's bad.
That's bad. That's actually
I am
the
not
shit.
looking again.
Because if that's the case, then isn't it better he just sat out? After all, the lightweight division has become much more competitive, with Islam Makhachev on top of the ratings. Conor's arch nemesis Dustin Poirier is also on a roll after putting away the dominant Chandler a few days back at UFC 281. That's not all. Beneil Dariush is making waves as he rides an incredible win streak, lining himself up for a shot at the title. We have the featherweight champ moving up a weight class to fight Makhachev, and of course we can't forget the former champion, Charles Oliveira. All these fighters are legit warriors, and if Conor isn't on his A-game after making a comeback, we're afraid he's just going to get smashed all over again. We have been hearing things about the potential McGregor versus Chandler showdown though, and we'll get to that in a bit. But we're really worried. We don't want to see the Irishman make a comeback only to lose a couple of fights all over again and just retire. We want to see prime Conor, hungry for success, demolishing everyone in his path. Next, Dana weighs in on the situation. UFC President Dana White also had to update fans after McGregor made everyone go nuts with that post of his.
About the weight difference, Conor weighing 167, Cowboy will weigh over 180, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, right out the window with that. That was crazy.
Now, Dana didn't exactly say anything substantial, and by substantial, we mean he didn't give us a date or a time frame. All he said was that the Irishman wants to make a comeback. We get that, but we were expecting a bit more, Uncle Dana. The boss man also talked about how McGregor has been posting videos of himself training for the longest time now. He's in good shape. It looks like that leg of his is finally recovered, and the only thing left now is scheduling a fight. The ball's in Dana's court now, right? Well, not really. Before White can actually sit down and decide how he wants to cash in on Mac's return, he'll have to put him back in the US ADA testing pool. Conor hasn't been tested for more than a year now, and after some MMA journalists raised questions, it was revealed he's been out of the pool for the longest time. A fighter needs to be tested at least 6 months prior to fighting, and considering how he hasn't been tested in a whole year, we're not really sure whether we'll be seeing him fight anytime soon. The UFC president did say he might return in 2023, but whether that's at the middle or end of the year is a bit uncertain. Guess we'll just have to wait and see how things play out from here. Moving on, is this just a money fight? McGregor is 34 years old now, and while he probably has a couple more years left in him, we're pretty sure he doesn't want to spend them fighting since he has millions lying around in the bank. He just finished filming a movie, and we reckon that'll fill up the bank quite well too. So whether Conor's hungry enough to win fights and climb the pedestal is a huge question mark at this point.
Conor McGregor steps into the octagon for the most highly anticipated matchup.
And we hate to be the ones saying this, but is this all just some drama for a big money fight? Now don't get us wrong, we're not trying to undermine the Irishman here. What he's done for the game can never be ignored, and whether you like him or not, he'll go down as the biggest MMA legend in the history of the game. But can he actually return to his winning ways again? He hasn't won a single fight in ages now, and it's probably because he doesn't need to fight anymore. He has multiple businesses, a cute family, and all the money in the world. Oh, and let's not forget that gorgeous yacht of his. But yeah, is he the same hungry fighter who destroyed 2 entire divisions to become the first UFC double champion? We're not sure. Is he capable of packing arenas and selling out events? Yes, sir. So all this might be a final exit to rake in the millions and go out with a bang. No wonder Chandler is so eager to get a fight against McGregor. Following up, the biggest fight out there. Despite losing a hard-fought battle against the Diamond, Michael Chandler still thinks he's the biggest fight out there. After UFC 281, Chandler told the press that when the Irishman is finally ready to return to the cage, he'll look at the options.
My first fight in the UFC when I called out Conor McGregor, surprise, surprise, there's a new king in the lightweight division.
Out of the entire pool, Iron Mike thinks he's the biggest fight Conor could take. Why he thinks that, we're not exactly sure. But he has been talking about how he's the most exciting fighter in the division right now. If you ask us, we think it's a really good fight, but whether it's the best is a bit doubtful. Conor could have any fighter he wants. His name has crazy value in the fight game, and almost every fighter out there would be willing to share the octagon with him. Even featherweight champion Alexander Volkanovski has expressed an interest in taking on the Notorious.
If he wants to come back down, welcome. I would love it.
So it really doesn't have much to do with what Chandler thinks, since Conor is the decision maker here, and he's obviously going to go with whatever sells the most. I don't think I'm the easiest fight that he could take, but I am the biggest fight that he could take. Chandler is right about that though. After putting on a heroic performance against Dustin Poirier, it's clear the man means business. Even though he lost the fight, he made quite an impression on the entire division. He's an explosive fighter, capable of putting away anyone, and he's not afraid to fight a little dirty. He just got unlucky with that takedown, which ultimately cost him the fight. Up next, this is Conor McGregor we're talking about. We've already said this before, but come on guys, this is the Notorious we're talking about, the king of the UFC. His last few fights were rough, no doubt about it, but you can't ignore the fact that he's a global superstar.
145 for Mr. McGregor!
And he's bound to sell out his comeback regardless of who he fights. But it's not like that's a secret or something. Everyone, including Michael Chandler, knows this. I think Conor McGregor stepping back in the octagon does big numbers no matter what. But Conor McGregor stepping inside the octagon with me does staggering numbers. It's pretty obvious why Mike thinks he's the best fight out there. He's exciting, explosive, and daring. And if both these guys shared the stage, the trash talking would be out of this world. But whether Conor wants this fight is a big question mark right now. You have to look at his weight. He's easily in the 170-pound region right now, and cutting back to lightweight is possible, but he could also just choose the welterweight division. Maybe a Kamaru-Usman fight could be booked instead. And let's not forget he's probably going to be making a comeback in the final months of 2023. A lot can change by then. The Irishman has always been an opportunist, and if he sees a clear path to the welterweight title, he might just take a fight against someone heavier. Chandler will need to continue putting on performances if he wants to get attention.
Perfect position where I'm the guy, I'm going to be the champion here in the next 12 months.
Last but not least, there's a lot of respect here. One thing we really love about Michael is that even though he's super aggressive, he never throws shade at anyone. He talked about how he has all the respect for Conor and how he's super excited to be a potential opponent. And while the entire fight world, including fans, continues to talk about how McGregor is no longer a fighter, Chandler sees things differently. He knows McGregor's first love is and will always be MMA. During the 281 post-fight press conference, Iron talked about how he'd love to see him return regardless of whether he fights him or not.
He looks big right now. I'd love to fight him at 170. I'd love to not make 155.
And if he does end up fighting him, then the fans are in for a real showdown. You gotta hand it to him though. He sure knows how to sell a fight. Let's see. We're actually sort of excited to see how things go from here. Michael Chandler versus Conor McGregor is definitely a barn burner. That's it from our side, folks. So what do you think? When will Mystic Mac return to the octagon? And is Chandler really the biggest fight out there? Let us know in the comments below. Remember, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to our channel for more exciting videos in the future. Thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you next time.